We've all seen the action when news channels broadcast a thrilling police chase.
You're out, we got to stop. Signal forward, big time signal forward, Kelly.
But we often miss the aftermath, which can lead to fatal consequences and an average of $3 million in damages charged to taxpayers.
There's a lot of fees incurred when you're involved in chases.
These accidents are a leading cause of injury, death, and lawsuits involving police officers.
When chasing, anybody can pull out in front of you. Your brakes can fail. There's a lot of different things that, can cause some type of danger to the deputy and or the community.
John Ferris learned the hard way that in a matter of seconds, anyone can be a victim.
We received a phone call at 4 in the morning, and it was a doctor from an emergency room.
His 23-year-old son, Paul, was on his way home in a cab when a vehicle pursued by police crashed into him at more than 70 miles per hour.
I'm really sorry to tell you this, but your son has been in a horrible car accident, and he's died.
An overwhelming number of police pursuits are started over nonviolent crimes and escalate quickly, endangering the suspect, the policeman, and any bystanders along the way.
The officer pursued the car that struck Paul for making an illegal U-turn and faced no reprimand because, according to state police rules, he was within his right to pursue.
2 or 3 seconds earlier, 2 or 3 seconds later, at the timing of that pursuit, and my son would be alive. I mean, so it's just random. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do after Paul died. So I started researching police pursuits.
He found that on average, one person dies each day as the result of a police pursuit. A third of those deaths being innocent bystanders. An FBI report uncovered that the true cost is probably 2 to 3 times higher than the stated average because pursuit fatalities are only reported at the discretion of law enforcement. And no government agencies track injuries from pursuits, leaving no information on police officers and bystanders left paralyzed, brain damaged, or suffering from other life-altering injuries.
I'll invest in anything just about that I believe that will keep the deputies safe and our community safe.
In order to cut down on high pursuit casualties, authorities like Sheriff Levitt of Rockdale County, Georgia, are investing in technology known as Star Chase.
I know that this technology has been a great investment. From the times that we've launched this GPS tracking unit, we have had a successful capture rate.
Star Chase allows officers to deploy a tracking device on vehicles without the driver knowing they've been tagged. For about $5,000 per vehicle, officers can secretly but safely catch cars on the run. I headed down to Rockdale County to see this new technology in action.
So here I am playing the suspect, and I've just been pulled over. As the officer approaches my car,
What are you doing, man? See your driver's license?
I decide to run. Little do I know that even though the officer was outside his car, he can still deploy his tracker.
As I think I'm getting away, the officer begins his stealth pursuit, tracking my location and alerting fellow law enforcement where I'm heading. This keeps drivers around me safe, rather than being caught in a high-speed chase.
When you can launch something and you can track it, you can discontinue the chase and just begin tracking the vehicle. You can apprehend the vehicle and or the suspect later.
So far, only a handful of Rockdale patrol cars have Star Chase, but Sheriff Levitt wants more because of its success rate.
We've captured everyone that from the ones that we've launched. No injuries to the deputies and no injuries to the community or citizens.
Most departments rely on decades-old tire spikes to stop chases, but even they are rarely used because of the danger involved, and police must also know where cars are heading.
Trying to deploy stop sticks sometimes is very dangerous, especially if you go to put them out and the car swerves towards you. I mean, I've seen several videos of officers getting struck trying to deploy the spike strips.
Sheriff Levitt admits new technology can be expensive, but says it's nothing compared to the cost of chases gone wrong.
Behind the badges of those that put on this uniform and put on this badge are humans. They walk out of their doors not knowing if they're going to ever return. They walk out of their doors kissing their loved ones, telling them that they love them, and their loved ones not knowing if they're going to ever return back to that house again, because they're leaving that home to protect and serve the people of their city, their county, and this great state. I want the people to know that we're out here doing the best that we can, and all we want to do is just protect and serve you.
Advocacy groups are urging lawmakers to implement technology like Star Chase in police stations around the country in hopes of preventing unnecessary lives lost, like John Ferris's son. Abigail Robertson, CBN News, Rockdale County.